Hi, everyone. As promised, we have our most benevolent outcome, Tom Mort. Hi, Tom.
How you doing?
How's the weather in Texas?
It is nice and warm today, about 62 or 3 degrees, but there's a cold front coming in about in an hour or so, and it'll drop to the low 40s with a wind tonight. So those who are out celebrating should take their coats.
Yeah, and because sometimes people will drink and not realize that they're getting so cold.
Yep.
So Happy New Year.
And Happy New Year to everyone tuning in today or even in the next week or so, whenever they come to see you.
And our most benign, I just did the other day, another OMG. Oh, most MBO. Why did I say OMG? I did
Oh my
it
God,
for...
MBO. I haven't heard that one, but that's a good one. Oh my God, an MBO.
For a parking space, and it worked, of course.
Oh.
Okay, so I was able to get from you a list of some things that we'll go through, some of the hits you've had with your people.
True. And some of these were in my last week's free weekly newsletter. And
yes, I got that.
And some will be in next week. So and a couple were even before that. So there we go. It's the way
below when if you look at this video, there's links to his newsletter and stuff.
Yep.
Okay. Wow. So you'd like to spend the first few minutes talking about requesting the most benevolent outcome to stay on your soul contract?
Yes.
What's that about?
Well, and I want to show everyone how asking, requesting an MBO to stay on your soul contract actually affected me. And so I was getting almost finished with my 7th book, which are hundreds of questions I've asked Gaia and on all sorts of different subjects, and we have them arranged like space and technology and all that stuff. And when I contacted my publisher, Light Technology, my publisher, and I won't reveal her age, I shouldn't do that for ladies, is slowing down, and she said that the most she could do would be to put it out as an ebook, and suggested that I self-publish. So I got busy looking at that, and had already, and after studying the availabilities, I had come up with Ingram's, because they also sell to hundreds of bookstores, and I know my publisher has gotten a lot of business from Ingram, so I was prepared to do that. In the meantime, Lane, who is my publisher of my my editor of my newsletter, who came to me through you, was over at a friend of hers house who is a psychic, and she was doing a reading for her. And in the middle of the reading, she said, "Hey house, hey house, hey house." And she said, "What? Tell Tom to contact Hay House." And so at my next spiritual, whatever I call it, yes, meditation. I was missing the word. At my next meditation, I asked both Guy and Theo about that, and they said, "Well, Tom, you had already decided that that your only avenue was self-publishing, but in actuality, Hay House will publish your next book, and it will do extremely well for them, and it will cause all of your other books to also increase greatly in sales." So I would ask anyone out there, because I don't know anyone at Hay House, if you're an editor for Hay House or know an editor at Hay House, they're in Carlsbad, California, and also New York, that tell them that Hay House is supposed to be publishing my next book.
Okay.
So appreciate anybody helping me on that. Now, for your New Year's resolution, this will be one for everyone to say, and it will be one that will be immediately successful, and it'll be the best New Year's resolution you could say for 2024. And so I want everyone to repeat after me if you haven't already done this in the past. I request a most benevolent outcome.
Most benevolent outcome.
To stay on my sole contract.
Sole contract.
For the rest of my life.
For the rest of my life.
Thank you. Now, for some people, if you kind of strayed off your soul contract or soul path, as some people like to call it, I was told soul path. So these seem to be interchangeable words. But for some of you, maybe you strayed off and it'll take a few weeks or months to get back on your soul path. But you will see it coming back, and you will stay on your soul contract the rest of your life. Now, this is the soul contract that you and your soul agreed before you were born, and were veiled from knowing what your soul contract is, that it will keep you on your soul contract. So there you go. First big one for.
And that's really cool, because there is such a thing as free will, but sometimes your free will could cause you to go in a direction maybe not quite in the contract.
Right. It's as my guardian angel Theo says, it's wandering off the reservation.
Okay. Awesome. That's cool.
Okay. So on to predictions.
On to your predictions, my friend. I love it. Okay. Free energy machine update.
Yes. Now, I've been talking about this for about 3 years, okay? And it all has to do with probabilities, but I'm told that, and this is the first time I've been told this, that about a week and a half ago, they were actually discussing about when to release the plans for the free energy machine that will come with no patent. It will be free to the world, okay?
Okay.
So it's supposed to be coming shortly, whether that means 30 days, 60 or 90, I don't know. But it does sound like they're setting up a time for that to take place.
Oh, wow. And this is going to happen in 25?
24.
Oh, 24. Sorry. See, I'm already going up a year.
Well, don't
But
rush
can I
it.
tell you, I have the strangest feeling like 24 is going to be a good year. I know some people are doing doom and gloom, but I kind of have an excitement about 24.
Oh, yeah. Wait till we get into some of the other predictions.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can't wait. Hold on. Okay, how about suits being filed against corporations back engineering ET craft?
Yes. Okay. There has been a group of attorneys that have gotten together, and they have agreed, excuse me, to file suits against corporations doing these back engineering illegal work on crash retrievals and not sharing it with the government. Okay. And so they're going to do this pro bono, and but I know they are having to wait for some money to come in that will allow them to travel and also do these filings, because these are pro bono.
Okay.
So this is going to happen, and it's going to really shake up things.
Oh, I love it. I love it. That's sort of like what Dr. Greer, is his name Greer? Dr. Greer talks about that. Okay.
And it's kind of led by Danny Shahan, who is a constitutional attorney, and but there's a whole group of them, at least 20 or 30 minimum.
Now, the next question is on the Eclipse, April 8th. The effects. Oh, you put a link, and it's in your newsletter too.
Yes.
I'll be in Texas for this. We're flying. No. Yeah, we're flying, my son and myself and my nephew, we're flying into Austin. And where's that place that guy got killed and burned with all those people the preacher,
I'm not sure
the
what,
name of the city.
Uvalde or no?
No, the preacher, Kadar, what was his name? He wore glasses and he caught all these people and the FBI came in and they set the place on fire and all kinds of people died.
Oh, that was in Waco.
I heard,
The
according to
Branch
my son,
Davidians.
my son said Waco is a good place to see the eclipse.
Yeah, it goes right over it.
Okay.
And so let's kind of talk about that, because this may be the most major benevolent event in all of 2024. Okay. Excuse me. I'm told that that it's going to rewire us. That even if you're not right underneath the total eclipse, which was on April 8th, it's going to affect everyone benevolently. Suddenly, everyone is going to look at people more benevolently, not only in the United States, but even in other countries. It's just going to be an amazing event. And already I know, now see, you're going to fly into Austin. You need to be making sure that you have a place to stay either in Austin or Waco or wherever you're
Listen,
going.
we made our reservations about a year and a half ago.
Oh, okay.
Flights and
Fantastic.
everything. And listen, you can't get nothing now.
Yeah. I
And
know.
I forgot to rent a car. Could
Oh,
not get a car with anything, but I was able to get a car through Priceline or one of those places.
yeah. Good. And you may need to have a backup, who knows? So, or give me a call and
I can call you, or I call my
and I'll
cousin.
come down to Waco too.
Thank
So,
you. Well, you're
so
welcome to come meet us down there. Wherever, if you know a spot we can all meet, that'd be great.
there we go. So anyway, I recommend, and as you've already found out, hotel space and even campgrounds are going fast. They even had a local TV news story about how many hotels are filling up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area because we're right underneath the total eclipse. So if you haven't made plans yet, I suggest you do immediately. If you have a travel home or something like that, reserve your space in a campground now. Don't wait, because there won't be any space.
Right.
So anyway, that's
Well,
my
the last eclipse, which was how many years ago? Total eclipse.
Mhm.
We went to Oregon.
Yep.
And I went because my kids were kind of young and I paid for everything, made sure that we were set. And I said, yeah, my son loves astronomy and my nephew and stuff. And so it started. And I will tell you, it was so profound. I had no idea how profound witnessing that would be.
Mhm.
You could feel the temperature go down like 15 degrees. When you're looking at things, you think you're not a human being because it's got a weird look to it. Everything turns weird looking. It's not like it gets dark in it. No, it's a weird look. It was so profound. And then when the ring, what do they call it? The wedding ring started, when it starts to move away and the very part of the sun that starts to glow through. I got to tell you, I told my son, that's it. I'm stuck. I'm going to have to do this every time.
There you go. And the nice thing about it, for everyone, don't be afraid of this one. Embrace it, because it is going to make you a more benevolent person.
Isn't that
So
wonderful?
keep that in mind.
Oh, Tom.
Yes.
So should we do like prayers, most benevolent prayers during this event?
What?
Do you think doing most benevolent prayers during the eclipse can enhance it, or would it
I
be?
think so. Yes.
Okay.
And you don't have to wait till the middle of it. You can even do it now. So just keep in mind that this is going to be something that's going to make everyone, for thousands of miles around you. As I say, I was told that you don't have to be right underneath it to be affected. And going right through the middle of Texas, through a red state, can you imagine? There's going to be changes in Arkansas and right on up. So we'll see.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, this is another good, God, you got some good questions. Trump, more on Trump's congestive heart failure and why Biden will not withdraw.
Okay. I asked about that because I couldn't understand, President Biden had said he might withdraw if Trump um, withdrew from the race. And so I asked, well, if Mr. Trump has health problems, why wouldn't President Biden withdraw? And I was told that by the time that Mr. Trump has this congestive heart failure, it will be too late for President Biden to withdraw from the race.
Yeah, he'd ruin the Democratic Party.
So, and very quickly for your viewers and listeners that don't know what congestive heart failure is, I've had it 3 times.
I've had it too.
The last time was 2015, and basically it means that your heart is not pumping well enough. It starts pumping real fast. Mine was pumping like 130 beats a minute, and so they took me in to the operating room. I said, "Don't put me under until I said my benevolent prayer." And so they took me in, put me on the operating table, and I said, I ask any and all beings to aid and assist the surgeon, surgical nurses, staff, and everyone to do their jobs perfectly. Thank you. And I said, ready to go. And so they said that was the last thing I remember. And they went through a vein in my groin all the way up to my heart, and they zapped my heart 40 times and over a 4-hour period. And they said I'm good for another 10 years. So here we go.
They didn't do anything like that for me. They diagnosed me and then gave me Lasix and stuff, but I don't know how it made a turnaround. They have gone through my femoral artery and done stents.
Yeah.
So
maybe
but they never put me out.
Yeah.
They just a local. It doesn't hurt at all.
Good.
So, okay. So yeah, I saw President Biden, him saying, if Trump hadn't won, if Trump hadn't run, I wouldn't be running.
Yes.
So Vic Ramaswamy, what's the 411 on him?
Well, I had to ask one of my readers. I get these questions from all over the world. I'm told I'm the only person in the world that takes questions from anyone. And
I take questions all the time.
Yeah.
I take a lot of the psychic readers take questions.
Oh, yes. But I mean, sort of live or in readings. And so anyway.
Okay.
And so they wanted to know about Ramaswamy, and I was told that no, there was no probability of him being president of the United States. He had been running for vice president of the United States. And then I asked, well, what quadrant is he in? He's in an early third young soul quadrant, and he has never been the leader of a country, but what he's doing now will assist him in future lives.
Okay. You know who else? May I bring a quick update? She changed her position in Colorado, Lauren Boebert. She's not running in the place she was running. She's going to a different part of Colorado. She's still going to lose.
Oh.
Okay. Update on Yellowstone and the West Coast earthquakes.
Yes. I've been asking about this they only allow me every 6 months. And so for the last at least a year and a half, the probability of the Yellowstone volcano erupting is stuck at 73%, and earthquakes caused by this eruption along the west coast of North America is at 63%. Now Gaia has said for the first time, she said that this is not a matter of if or not, it's a matter of when.
Yeah.
So I was told again that if you see lots of people suddenly moving off the West Coast and out of the Yellowstone areas, and then a lot of people moving in. That tells you that the event is going to happen, and the people that are uh, uh, not supposed to experience the events are being moved out by their guardian angels, and the people that are supposed to experience are being urged to by their guardian angels to move into the area. So
Wow.
watch for that. If it happens again in 6 months, I'll ask for another update.
Okay. All right. Probability of stock market crash in 2024.
I was told there will be wide springs over the year due to certain events that will happen, but there will be no stock market collapse.
Yeah, they've been predicting this for, I think they were hoping it would happen because of Biden getting in.
Okay.
Guns for Groceries buyback national proposal.
Yeah, I've been pushing this for several months, and it just appears to kind of been stalled. But I'm told that after the eclipse, that someone is going to pick it up and it will move forward. So
Okay.
I don't know who that is, but I would appreciate anyone if you have a chance. It's on my website, the link to the um, to the petition, and please sign and keep it going.
Movie. Summer weather forecast for North America and Europe.
I'm told that it will be more of an average summer, but there will not be real long periods of hot weather. There will be breaks in it with cold fronts and all. The problem with that, I'm told, is that it will cause some very stormy conditions and more tornadoes.
Okay. Even here, we've getting good sized rains, but the good news is, unlike last year, it stops and it gives you a couple of days with nothing. So your drains have time to drain, then it starts again, but it's not back to back.
That's good.
Okay.
Because California has been having some really stormy.
Did you see those waves? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Significant event for China and Taiwan.
Well, I'm told that because China is such a large continent, they are going to have earthquakes at times. That's just part of it. But regarding Taiwan, they're not going to attack them, and Taiwan's a feisty little country, and they also have the backing of the United States. And China is looking at the long run of influencing the whole world, and will not do anything but rattle sabers.
Right. And the other thing is, if Trump got in, maybe, but not with Biden still in there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Australia
is going to have a fairly normal year with weather, typical weather outbreaks and things like that. I didn't get into their government, so I only was kind of asking like an overall view, but they seem to be Australia's normal, I guess.
Right. The war in Palestine, Israel and Lebanon.
Well, that's I'm told, of course, thousands of more people are going to die before the end of this, and that Israel will have another front in Lebanon that they're going to have to deal with Hezbollah. That's going to,
which I think they're already dealing with. Yeah,
in smaller numbers, but it sounds like it may.
But isn't the United States like already shooting missiles and stuff because they're getting hit by Hezbollah?
We're only dealing, I think, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, with what are the Houthis?
Is that who? Okay.
Yeah, that are firing missiles at tankers. I just saw on the news that helicopters just shot up 3 attack boats trying to attack a tanker and killed all people in the 3 boats.
Well, you mess with the bull, you get the horns, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, what about war in Ukraine?
That, of course, is on a stalemate because of the winter and into the spring. But the people in Russia, I'm told, are really getting tired of this war. And I keep being told that Putin is on his way out. Now, of course,
That's what I've been feeling. I think he might be taken out.
no, and maybe that'll be what happens because he's running for president again in March. And
And he'll cheat, of course.
and he'll what?
He'll cheat.
Well, yeah. So I don't know how he's going out, but it may be feet first. But
I feel, and you know who else is going? Not that he might be assassinated, but Netanyahu, I feel, getting exited, having
yeah,
to go.
yes, and you know that's one of the terrible things that I think has done. And this is just personal opinion, you know, uh, but when they started killing all of these innocent civilians in Palestine, it was like they're trying to wipe them all out.
Like they're doing it deliberately.
Yes, and it's going to wind up. You know, I had asked originally about the war in Ukraine, and I was told that the war in Ukraine was going to be the last war in Europe. But when I asked about the Middle East, I was told that it will not be the last war. And I think one of the reasons is that you got a kid that grows up suddenly without its mother and father. They're going to have hatred, and and there's going to be a war. Maybe it's, you know, 5 years, 10 years, 15, whatever it's going to be. As those kids grow older, they're, you know, Israel, I just think, is shooting themselves in the foot. Even if, you know, I mean, yes, they've got to go and clear out those tunnels. Clear out the tunnels. Don't drop 2,000-pound bombs when you can drop a 250 or something.
Well, the other thing is President Biden is telling him you're breaking rules of engagement. You're breaking international law, and they're not listening. I know somebody that knew of Netanyahu back when Clinton was in office.
Mhm.
And the one thing about Netanyahu is he never takes advice. It's always his way or the highway.
Yep.
And he's going to pay for that.
And you can tell. So
yeah. And then so the Putin was the next, which we both feel he's exit stage left.
yes,
Overlapping timelines in 2024.
I was told, and somebody again asked me about this, and timelines for your viewers that are not familiar with timelines. There are 12 timelines. There are 12 U's, 12. um, each one of us has 12 personalities on 12 Earths. That's why Gaia is a quantum master, because she has to take care of 12 different Earths. And there's 12 of you. The highest timeline 12, is non-physical, because that is considered the perfect life for uh, for people dealing with these 4 negative energies that we all deal with. And all the other lives on earth are compared to the perfect life, which I didn't think was quite fair, but that's the way they set it up. And so we're on timeline number 6, which is a middle frequency. And at times our timeline 6 overlaps timeline 7 if there is learning to be done. And we also overlap with timeline 5. There are going to be no timeline overlaps in 2024, I'm told.
Okay. Okay, border crises, that's a good one.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm told there's going to be billions of dollars, expensed to try and shore up the border. But what's going to actually happen is that all the people from South America and Central America and Asia and Africa that are already here are going to be allowed to stay, and they're going to be able to work, and they're going to send money back to their families in these countries, which is very good.
Oh, good.
For everyone.
Okay, ET ship documentaries.
ET.
Ship
Oh,
documentary.
ship. Okay. I had to think about that one. Of course, I had the first time I was told that eventually my family and I would actually travel to Antura. That's my soul brother's ET ship. That's 50 miles up, and we're going to do a series of documentaries there for 14 days. Shoot 14 days, probably 12 or 14 hours a day, and we're going to wind up with 1 and possibly 2 full-length documentaries and 100 episodes, and all of that will be coming out in like the next couple of years.
Awesome.
I have, but that's, and the latest information I get is it's supposed to be within the next 60 days, but I'm not holding my breath. I'm just waiting.
Now, aren't you worried about the United States government bringing you in?
I'm going to make sure that it's there's going to be word out on it before
Okay.
anything could happen. And I'm also told that there will be certain things that we're going to shoot that they want me to not release until the last 40 or 50 episodes, because it will be so upsetting to some people about our true history, that it's going to take a little while to get to that time.
Yeah. And solar storms in the next 6 months. Did you see very many?
No, I didn't. I don't see any. I was told there are not going to be any major solar storms.
Because we've had some this past year, some good sized ones.
There was one just recently that knocked out some radio communications, but I'm told there's not any major solar storms for the upcoming year. We'll see.
Okay. What music will continue to last in the next 1,000 years?
Yeah, that was something somebody asked me. Only classical music. All the pop music is going to go away, because if you notice what's already happening, that recently and I'm sorry I don't keep up with pop music as much as perhaps other people, but there was a guy that sang a song in Spanish that got up in the top 10, maybe top 5. And then there were the K-pop kids from Korea. And so all of these nationalities are starting to interject their own music. And I think that's going to grow.
Okay. And what do you think our vibrational level will be in the next 7,000 years?
Well, I just found this out by chance. I was told that my last life on Earth will be in 7,000 years, which is the end of the Earth experiment. So if anybody tells you, oh, the world is going to pot, we're going to destroy ourselves, no, that's not going to happen. We're
Yeah.
going to continue with this Earth experiment for 7,000 years. By the end of that 7,000 years, there will be almost no humans left on the face of the Earth. We will all, I say we as population, will all have basically gone back to our home planets. That will leave about 100 people on each continent, and I'm supposed to be in charge of the cleanup crew. And by that time, we will be at about 5.6, 7, 8, somewhere up pretty high, where we will be able at that time to be able to control molecules. And we will be able to control molecules of buildings or whatever is left on Earth and restore the Earth back to its pristine beauty so that it becomes a tourist attraction from all over, not only our universe, but the other universes that will have been affected by us bringing small bits of negative energy first to the 20,000 planets in the Federation of Planets that we're going to be belonging to.
Awesome.
And they will take it not only to the rest of the universe, but all the other universes will have these small bits of negativity, which will allow them to grow again. So this is going to be, that's going to be all the humans will be gone.
That's wonderful. That's
We-
your last question, my friend.
We will we will have done our job.
That's your last question. I think like I told you, psychically, I was dreading 23, but I'm feeling excited about 24. I just really am.
Yeah, I think it's.
Did you pick up or, I know you're not considered, you don't claim to be a psychic, but you work with the guides that can look beyond. And was there any good news with modern medicines?
I've asked that before, and what's coming along within like the next 5 or 10 years, there's going to be a lot of medical problems solved, cancers and things like that. Okay, but it's going to be at least 25 years or more before we're going to be able to start adjusting someone's DNA.
Wow.
And one of the things that's going to come out about that is, in adjusting people's DNAs is that, let's just say, the prisons that are full of murderers and things like that, they're going to be able to adjust their DNAs and be able to release them. Now that's going to take quite a bit of convincing of the population that that they're not going to be having a murderer next door to them that's going to knock on the door and kill them someday. But that's coming in our future, that the DNA is going to be able to be adjusted for everyone, and it should be heavily done within this century. That's
fantastic. And my last question to you is there any new do you feel like a surprise for everyone for something that was found in a cave or in the ground, a human bones or dinosaurs? Do you feel like something is coming up that's sort of exciting?
Well, of course, we keep hearing about all these discoveries, and I think that's going to continue on because there are discoveries that they're now announcing it. And
with the poles drying up, they're going to find more. I even see in Russia a lot of things happening.
Oh, yes, because keep in mind, there were, I think it was either 64 or 67 different types of bodies that the ETs tried out before they finally settled on the Adam and Eve bodies, which are Homo sapien 60,000 years ago, and so all these bodies they went through, a lot of them still have yet to be discovered. And you know, they're just now starting to find like a jaw of some, you know, species of humans that has never been found before. So they've got just a huge amount of archaeology that, as I've been told, they don't want everything to be found so soon because it would put all the archaeologists out of work.
There you go. There you go. Oh,
And
there's plenty out there, even in the ocean.
sure. So, and especially in the ocean because
Yeah.
of all these catastrophes where the Atlanteans destroyed themselves 12,500 years ago, and the oceans rose 160 something feet, and then I'm sorry, that was 30,000, and then when the Atlanteans destroyed themselves 12,500 years ago, the oceans rose 45 feet, and that went all over the Mediterranean, and that's when Noah and his family sailed across the Mediterranean, and then the last one, when the Lemurians blew their continent up 7,500 years ago, the oceans rose another 172 feet. So when you have major events that have raised the oceans because of human activity over 300 feet or around 300 feet, then you're going to wipe out every single story and history of all the people that were living at that time and before that time.
Exactly. Exactly. So, well, thank you, my friend.
Yeah, it's
This
been
was
fun.
exciting. Very good show.
I didn't know we were going to go so fast. That's good.
Yeah, it went fantastic. I'm going to put it up now. It'll be on in a few minutes.
Okay, if you get a chance, put up that map of
I will. I'm going to do that now.
and also just a reminder to everyone, I do have this free weekly newsletter that you can subscribe to. Just go to my website, www.thegentleWayBook.com, and on the opening page, there's a box. You can fill it out, and you'll start getting the newsletters. And then I wish everyone a fantastic 2024.
Yeah. Happy New Year, everybody. Fantastic 2024.
Happy New Year. A most
And-
benevolent one.
And most benevolent one. And happy New Year to your family. Peace and health, my friend.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.